Cohen looking to throw it, and he's got the touchdown! Here's Brady's pass. It's Gronkowski! Oh, Max strips it! He is unbelievable!
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs already?
Wow.
Is that not the craziest thing? Season
The time flew by.
is over, and we are at the playoffs.
Yes.
You're hearing an awesome little guy over here. This is a cool podcast because we get Ethan Tabor on the Tabor Gridiron Podcast. Ethan, how old are you, buddy?
5.
5. Oh, yeah. This is going to be awesome. Isaac, I think you were pretty little when you started on this as well. And now time is flying by.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Tabor Gridiron Podcast. I am Steven, here with Isaac, and you just were introduced to Ethan. Don't forget to like us wherever you get your podcasts. Send us an email anytime, taborgridiron@gmail.com. Okay, the first round of the playoffs are over. This was a pretty epic week. We had games on Saturday. We had games on Sunday. We had Monday night game and just nonstop football. I watched way too many hours of football, but it's rapidly coming to an end.
Exactly.
We only got a couple weeks left. This next week is going to be even just crazier going into the divisional round, but let's break some of these games down. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the games. Ethan, we made a list and a chart about who we thought were going to win, and we had some of our family members. Isaac, you and I did. Some of us did pretty good. Some of us struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
Ethan, I'll have you break that down for me in a second here and share some stuff. But Isaac, really, did the week go or the weekend go the way you were hoping to? Was it a fun-filled football weekend, or were you a little disappointed? The games were pretty epic.
They were, yeah.
Really, whether you were going for a particular team or not, all the games were entertaining, and I enjoyed watching each one.
For sure, same here. And I personally, I was a little bit disappointed with some of the games. There were like the Chargers and Jaguars game. I was surprised and a little bit disappointed. I felt bad for Justin Herbert, but I was also felt great for Trevor Lawrence somehow like pulling through at the end. And there were a bunch of games that I kind of were just surprised about. The Bucs and Cowboys game, Tom Brady just getting shut out. I was just like, that was a real surprise to me. And yeah, this week there was definitely a lot of epic games, a lot of games where the person you didn't expect, a lot of upsets. And I mean, it was really fun to watch and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that I did not see the Jaguars coming back and winning. And actually, that, if you could look up some highlights of that game, was pretty impressive. Justin Herbert and the Chargers have been doing really well. And they struggled a little bit. They had some injuries. They came back. I really like the play of Justin. He's been playing well. And they came out of the gate swinging. And you were just kind of like, yep, the Jaguars basically kind of snuck into the playoffs. They really going to do that great. Trevor Lawrence had multiple interceptions.
Yeah, he had 4 in the first
There
half.
was like 5 turnovers in this game by the Jaguars that is almost a recipe for a guaranteed loss. Like, you have that many turnovers, you're going to lose. It's just not going to happen. And for them to come back and win. Now, Ethan, you were watching the Jaguars with me. We were hoping the Chargers were going to win. What did you think about the Jaguars and Chargers game? Was it a lot of fun to watch? Were you shocked that the Jaguars came back?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it.
So, the Chargers was winning, so they were going to win, but Jaguars came back.
The Jaguars did come back, and that was a little crazy. So, who did you pick to win this game?
I picked Seahawks, Chargers, Bills, Giants, Ravens, Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. That was quite the picks. Okay, so tell me, let's pause here a little bit. Ethan, why don't you go ahead and tell me, we had Isaac, Mom picked, you had Grandma and Grandpa, you had Auntie Jenny, Auntie Tor that did some picks. All right, so tell me a little bit about these picks, Ethan. Who won the picks and who had the most picks, and what were your picks? Tell me. Well, you just told me who the picks were. Like, how many did you win, and what did you think about it all?
Okay, so Auntie Jenny got all 6. So Auntie Jenny was the best one. She got all 6.
Wow,
That's crazy.
And Isaac is the least best because he only got 2.
Wah, wah, wah.
What
Yeah,
if
I don't know
one
why
guy
they do
got
that.
only 1?
Oh man, that would have been crazy.
Or even 0?
Only 2, Isaac?
I don't. I knew some of the teams were gonna win. I just wanted to pick the teams
The
that I
hopefuls.
wanted.
I'm with you on that. Though you're hoping. To me, I wasn't necessarily hoping the Chargers. The Chargers should have won. I'm still in shock that the Jaguars won. All right, keep going, Ethan.
Okay. And then I won. I won 1, 2, 3. I won 3.
Okay.
And I lost 3.
Okay.
So it's all tied up on my side.
Yeah.
And then Auntie Tor lost 2 and won 4.
Okay. Wow. Auntie Tor did pretty good too.
Yeah, she did do pretty.
And then Jay Iris, he did some picks too. We gotta get JJ in there. How did
Yeah.
Jay do?
Jay do pretty good. He got 5 picks. He got 5.
Wow.
Jay almost had all those right. That was actually pretty
And
cool.
also Grandma had 5.
Oh man,
Wow.
these guys are doing pretty good on their picks here.
What happened?
Yeah, well, all right. Well, hey, Ethan, thanks so much for doing those picks for us, and we're going to have to keep doing that each week, at least for the rest of the playoffs here, and then obviously the Super Bowl, and we'll see who can get the most and who could end up winning. What was your favorite, out of all the games, E, what was your favorite game?
The Bills game.
The Bills game, yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Bills a second here. Ethan, you and me were going for the Bills. They started playing the way that we expected them to play, really.
yeah.
And Josh Allen was doing a great job. The whole team was.
Yes.
I thought that the Dolphins were going to struggle because not having Tua
Exactly,
in. And
yeah.
I felt like they had a real chance if Tua was going to be playing. But to be honest, the Dolphins really surprised me. They were right in this game. They were neck and neck, and it wasn't even low scoring. I mean, it was 34-31. That's some high scoring game that the Dolphins were right there in the mix. So the Bills gave us a little bit of a scare, Ethan, because they almost didn't win.
Yes. They almost didn't win. And I'm very surprised that you guys talked about the Bills the whole season, and Isaac got against you.
You know what? Thank you very much for bringing that up. We've been talking about these Bills like all season, and then we get to this awesome game, and Isaac picks the Dolphins. Like, yeah, explain yourself here.
Okay, well, for one thing, everybody else picked the Bills, and I thought, I'm like,
Little bro calling you out, okay?
I know,
yeah.
I'm used to it by now, but and everyone was picking the Bills. I thought I could pick the Bills, but then I thought, what if it's the Dolphins that come on top? And they almost did. You have to admit, they almost did. And like in the third quarter, it was almost looking like that. And I wanted to try something different. At that point, I already lost so many games. I was like, why not? So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You picked the Dolphins way before any other game started. So going against me here. I see how it is. I mean,
honestly, someone's got to do it. So
Buffalo's going to the Super Bowl, right, E?
yeah, and the Cowboys.
Come on. No. Bring up some childhood trauma here. Okay. So next game we got Giants and the Vikings.
Yes, and me and you were going to a war, but the Giants ended up winning.
So who won that war?
The Giants.
You did. Oh my goodness. You and me were battling. I was going for the Vikings.
Same here.
Jay went for the Giants too, right? Yeah.
Me, Jay, Jamie, Grandpa. Yeah, Grandpa. Grandma and Auntie Jenny and Auntie Tor.
Yeah, so I really thought that the Vikings were going to take this one.
Same.
I thought that they were playing really well, won the division. You did kind of hold your breath a little bit because Kirk Cousins has been playing lights out.
Oh, yeah.
This whole season. But he's also one of those quarterbacks that he's either going to be great, Kirk, or he's going to be struggling. And who were you really going to get? And the Giants, I'm just kind of shocked. I mean, the Giants coming in, Daniel Jones played really well. And I'm not a big Daniel Jones fan. He doesn't seem to be really consistent. He's just kind of like the okay quarterback. But this year, he's really been stepping up. I mean, here they are. And I really felt that the Vikings did not play as good as they've been playing.
Yeah.
They should have walked all over the Giants, and they didn't. The Giants had their number. Defense played really well. I don't know what Cousins was thinking on some of the plays that he was making, especially the end of the game. It's 4th and 8, and he threw a 3-yard little pass. Like, what? Yes, okay, maybe your guy could have broke a tackle and ran for it, but give your guys an opportunity. I'm not quite sure what they were really thinking. For as well as the Vikings played, won their division, and you're out the first round, was a little disappointing, but...
Yeah, it was a little disappointing, especially you've been seeing them play well all season. They have weapons. They have Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins has been playing at an elite level. And they didn't even really have a ton of like injuries or any kind of like really big setbacks that would hold them back. And I thought they had this one, but the Giants just came out. They had Daniel Jones, who, like you said, I was not really a huge Daniel Jones fan. He is, in my opinion, kind of just like the everyday quarterback. I don't really notice him that much, but now I notice him. And Daniel Jones is really playing to his weapons like Saquon Barkley, Isaiah Hodgins. He was really playing smart and playing at a level I have not seen him play at all this season. So
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Now, Geno Smith. So we got the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Yes.
How did that game go, Ethan?
That game went pretty decent.
Pretty decent. Yeah. Who were you going for?
I was going for the Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks, they didn't pull that off, though. But they almost did. They fought pretty hard. So Geno Smith, the quarterback of the Seahawks, I'm really proud of this guy.
I'm really proud of him.
All season, everybody really didn't think that they had a shot. They got rid of Russell Wilson and what's going to really happen with the team. And the fact that they kind of just scraped up, put things together. Geno played really well all season. The team started gelling more and more. Pete Carroll, I just did an amazing job coaching to get the team kind of where they were and struggling to even get into the playoffs. And they did really good here as well. And they could have won. I was expecting the 49ers to play the way that they played. They're dominant on defense, like just absolutely dominant. And then Brock Purdy has not lost a game. I don't know where this guy... I'm kind of scared. Like, are the 49ers just going to plow through everything and win the Super Bowl? I don't know, and it's possible for that to happen. But Seahawks were impressive and at least tried, and they did a good job, right, Ethan?
Yes, they did.
Oh, yeah, they did really good. And I was really, like you said, I was really impressed with Geno Smith, and I was impressed at the level he was playing with, especially, obviously, the Seahawks, they lost Russell Wilson. And he came in and he just kind of transformed the team. He obviously he knew he had big shoes to fill, but he's doing great. And he was really playing to his weapons like DK Metcalf. And the Seahawks, they have a decent defense. I wouldn't say they don't have Bobby Wagner anymore, so they don't really have that aspect. But they do have a really good offense, and they have a lot of players that can really tear apart a defense.
I was shocked at how well they did play, and not shocked that the 49ers are moving on. Then you got a divisional round again, as far as a divisional teams playing with Baltimore and the Bengals. This is the third time they're playing. And just one of those hard-fought games. And they did not have their star quarterback, so Lamar Jackson's not playing. Again, you're thinking Bengals are going to walk all over this. And Huntley played
he was.
The Ravens could have won this game.
They really could have.
And they really fought hard, as well as the Bengals are doing. Joe Burrow on top of his game right now again. second year in a row. They hit the playoffs, and they're doing well. And they can go all the way, certainly, again. But you got to give hats off to the Ravens and Harbaugh pulling everybody together and Huntley playing the way that he played to stay in this game and to make it an entertaining game.
Oh, 100%. I was really impressed with what I saw from Huntley, especially in the sense of I knew they weren't going to have Lamar Jackson, and I was thinking like, oh, yeah, this is going to be Joe Burrows. Like, he's just going to have a field day with this. But Huntley came in, and he really impressed me, and he showed me. And the thing with a lot of rookies is they can do a lot of things. They can, like, run, they can throw it, but he was just playing smart, and he wasn't playing like a younger quarterback. He was really playing like a veteran. And I was really impressed with what I saw from him and just how the entire Ravens team played.
Ethan, what did you think of the Bengals and the Ravens game?
It was decent, but I was the only one that picked the Ravens, and they lost.
Aw, that's all right.
You tried.
Good try,
Just
though.
like I was the only one that picked the Dolphins, and he lost.
You were the only one that picked the Dolphins?
Yep.
Oh, man. Okay, Ethan. Then you got Tom Brady and the Buccaneers and Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Who did you pick again?
Dallas.
And the Cowboys won. Tell me a little bit about this game, Ethan. What did you think about this?
I loved it.
Yeah?
It was a pretty, again, decent game. And Cowboys won. It's so cool. It was so good. It was the best.
How did Tom Brady do? He struggled a little bit, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Tom Brady's been struggling throughout the season, and you get into the playoffs. I was expecting Dallas to win. That was my pick. But I was also wanting and hoping and kind of really expecting Tom Brady to play at an elite level and to make it a kind of high-scoring, fun game and a good way for him to kind of go out. And the whole team, I don't even know that it was necessarily Tom Brady's fault. The whole team did not seem to be on the same page. There were missed routes. You had Mike Evans running different ways in different directions. The whole Buccaneers team really struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, 100%. With the entire team, I was like, is this the Buccaneers we saw go beat the Super Bowl? And it was just, and there wasn't even really anything to set them back. They were just not connected. And the Dallas Cowboys were, which is, I think, what gave them the upper hand, because the Buccaneers, I don't think, have any less talent than the Cowboys. In fact, if they were connected, I think they would have won that game. But with the Cowboys, it just had really good symmetry. Dak Prescott was leading his team, and they got the job done.
Well, and I think that for the Buccaneers, their running game has been pretty non-existent.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, to me, Leonard Fournette needed to step up and really, own this team right now and give his all. I mean, I'm not saying that he didn't, but he needed to play at a great, high level. He had 11 yards rushing the whole game. Dallas was just all over the run game, but the Buccaneers are struggling with that. Tom Brady, at 45 years old, threw the ball 66 times. That is crazy.
That is really
It's impressive.
Crazy.
It's super impressive, but that is crazy. And I said before that if the Cowboys had a chance to win this game and are going to go far, that Dak Prescott has to play at an elite off-the-charts level. And last week, he struggled and was not really good. And you were like, oh, no, what's happening? The whole team did well. Defense, everybody did, except special teams. We'll talk about that in a second here. But Dak Prescott could not have played better. He was impressive. He was accurate, throwing 4 touchdowns, running for a touchdown. I mean, he was just all over the place. But then their kicker missed 4 kicks, right, Ethan?
Yes.
What happened?
The other ones were the ones were this way. All the extra points is easy. They're kind of easy because you just gotta aim and gotta get it in the big spot in between the goalposts. But wow, he missed.
Yeah, went one way, then went the other way, and 4 times.
I know.
Like, it's not just one miss. It was like 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4. You're like, what is going on?
They should have threw in the backup or something.
I didn't see the 4th one.
Yeah, so 4 kicks he missed. He did finally make one though. So
at the end, yes.
that's encouraging. He's got to just get his head screwed on right here and focus and just be like, all right, I got to move on, and I got to be able to help my team and do what I need to do, because that can't be happening.
And I wasn't actually expecting the Bucks to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Right. I mean, so you have to look at the NFC East here. This is actually pretty impressive.
I know.
The fact that we are going to the divisional round, and the Dallas Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Giants, all from the same division, are moving on.
Wow.
Like, that is absolutely crazy.
That is. Like,
I would love to know the stats on that, as far as like how many times has that happened with any division? Like, has it ever happened where all four of them meet? But see, I don't think that can happen, because they changed, not too long ago, they added the extra wild card game and that extra spot. So I don't think that ever really could have happened. So is this the first time that you have 3? I don't know. I would have to look up those stats to see, but it's pretty impressive that everybody, I don't know, it doesn't say a whole lot about the Washington Commanders at the bottom of the poll there, but we'll move on that. Okay. We haven't seen the Eagles play yet. We haven't seen the Chiefs play yet, because they had the bye week. So it's going to be interesting. Does that bye week help you? Does that help you to play better? Or does that cause you to struggle a little bit? What do you think, Isaac?
I think he could, depending on the team, it could do either thing. Because for some teams, it helps because it can allow them to like relax, recharge, and restore. And they'll come in fresher and they'll come in stronger. But for some teams, I think it's a little bit hard, because you don't have, like, if some teams play a game, they're at least like warmed up and they're experienced and stuff like that, and they'll be able to like go in fresh. But with some teams, it's like they'll have a bye week and then they'll come back inexperienced and they'll come back a little bit slower. So I'm interested to see how that'll do, especially for the Eagles, because the Chiefs, I think, have been in this position before, so I think they're going to succeed. The Eagles, I don't know if they've been in this position before, but not for a while, and not with Jalen Hurts. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in that aspect.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens as well. Okay, so before we close here, let's talk about the divisional round. Okay, Ethan? So we have the first game that's going to happen is going to be the Jaguars and the Chiefs. Who do you think is going to win from the Jaguars and the Chiefs?
I'm expecting the Chiefs, but I'm going to go for the Jaguars.
Ooh, okay. All right. I like this. How about you, Isaac?
I think I'm going to go with him on that one, because I know Patrick Mahomes has just this fire, and I know he's probably going to do really well, but I really want to see Trevor Lawrence. I'm going with the Jaguars.
I kind of want to say the Chiefs are going all the way on that one. They're going to just dominate, but we very well could see a Jaguar upset on that for sure. Giants and Eagles. Who do you think is going to win between the Giants and the Eagles next week?
I'm going to say Giants.
Giants, okay.
Fly, Eagles, fly. We're going with the Eagles.
Oh, okay. We got Giants and then Eagles. Yep.
Giants first. The bad guys would actually won the playoffs, so now they're good. So the good guys versus the almost undefeated.
Almost undefeated, yep.
2 lost.
I think the Eagles are going to take this one. I think that the defense is just going to put a lot of pressure on Daniel Jones. But again, anything can happen. Then you got the 49ers and the Cowboys. Who do you think is going to win, E?
Let's go for the Cowboys.
All right.
49ers. All 49ers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm torn on this one. I really don't want the Cowboys to go very far in this.
Because it's going to be the Cowboys and Bills.
Everybody thinks that the 49ers are just going to dominate, and they very well could. The defense is off the charts crazy, and Brock Purdy is playing really well, but can the Dallas defense put pressure on him, cause him to struggle? Dallas very well could scrape this through and give the upset against the 49ers. Stranger things have happened, so we'll see. All right, and then finally, Ethan, we got the Bengals and the Bills are going to be playing. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Bills all the way.
Bills all the way. What do you got?
I'm really torn. I think I think the Bills are going to win it, but I'm kind of going for the Bengals because I love Joe Burrow. It's not that I don't like the Bills. It's just like, I mean, come on, Joe Burrow. Like
this is going to be a really good game. It's going to be a real emotional game. This is going to be the first time they're going to be playing each other again since their game was canceled.
Oh yeah,
and I think that there's just going to be some high emotions with everything that's going on and everything that that happened. I think the fact that Damar Hamlin is doing as well as he's doing and recovering, that's really given the Bills a boost to kind of be able to continue to do what they need to do. I still think it's going to be an emotional game for both teams. I think it's going to be a rough, just high-scoring, battle-it-out game. I think it's going to be very entertaining. I'm looking forward to that. My hope is that Buffalo squeezes through. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen in the sense of it's going to be, I think, a win by a very narrow margin because both of these teams are just going to be high-flying, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I am.
We're going to be able to talk next week about the divisional round. Ethan, thanks so much for sneaking in the studio here and hanging out with us.
You're welcome.
It's been a lot of fun. We'll have to do it again sometime, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, like us wherever you get your podcasts. Send us an email anytime, taborgridiron@gmail.com. We'll break down the divisional round. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk next week.